Did you know that nearly 70% of older adults regularly eat nuts that can quietly trigger inflammation, speed up muscle loss, raise bad cholesterol, and slowly sap your strength? This makes everyday things like walking, climbing stairs, or staying independent harder with age. What's especially concerning is that many of these nuts are promoted as heart-healthy, keto-friendly, or packed with good fats. But despite the marketing, some of them can quietly cause inflammation that leads to joint pain, disrupts cholesterol levels, adds strain to the heart, and even affects memory and brain function over time. There's one specific nut, I'll talk about it shortly, that has been linked to higher blood sugar, a greater risk of diabetes-related problems, and weaker bones when eaten too often. What's even more worrying is that it's a common snack for many seniors and is still being recommended in popular low-carb diets. But don't stress, because in today's lesson, we'll look at the 5 nuts that can cause the most harm to seniors, starting with the ones doing damage without many people noticing. Then we'll go over 5 of the best and most supportive options instead, the ones that actually help your brain, lower inflammation, and keep your muscles strong. So if you're over 60 like I am, or if you're looking after someone who is, this could be one of the most helpful nutrition videos you'll watch all year. Be sure to stick around until the very end because nut number 4 has a hidden compound that barely anyone talks about, and it can be dangerous without you even knowing it. Let's begin with nuts you should stay away from and why they can be harmful. Number 1, bitter almonds. Almonds are often considered a smart, heart-friendly snack, but there's one type that can actually be dangerous, especially if eaten raw. While standard almonds are nutritious and safe, bitter almonds carry a natural compound known as amygdalin. When your body digests this compound, it converts into cyanide, a toxic chemical that disrupts how your body uses oxygen. That's where things can take a serious turn. Eating just 4 or 5 raw bitter almonds may lead to symptoms like dizziness, nausea, or confusion. Consuming more than 10 can become severe enough to need emergency medical help. As we age, our body's ability to eliminate toxins like cyanide slows down, which means even a small amount can be more harmful for older adults. The older you get, the more dangerous it becomes. Cooking or processing bitter almonds can neutralize this risk, but eating them raw, as suggested by some natural health sources, is not only unsafe, it can actually be harmful. To add to the confusion, bitter almonds are often marketed as apricot kernels or labeled as natural detox options, but cyanide doesn't detox anything. For older adults trying to stay sharp, active, and healthy, this is one nut to completely avoid. However, bitter almonds aren't the only concern. There's another popular nut you'll find in nearly every kitchen, common at parties, in snack mixes and spreads. Despite its popularity, it quietly contributes to inflammation and carries contamination risks that many people overlook. Number 2, peanuts. Peanuts might seem like a harmless, affordable snack, often found in trail mixes, protein bars, or peanut butter sandwiches, but for aging adults, they can bring more problems than benefits. Surprisingly, peanuts aren't actually nuts. They're legumes that grow underground, which makes them more prone to absorbing mold toxins called aflatoxins. These toxins have been linked to cell damage, weakened immune systems, and a higher long-term risk of certain cancers. As we age, our bodies aren't as effective at processing and removing toxins. So even if peanuts were never an issue before, they might now be adding stress to your liver, leading to fatigue and low-level inflammation. Peanuts also contain a high amount of omega-6 fatty acids. While your body does need some omega-6, having too much without enough omega-3s throws off the balance and increases inflammation, which can lead to joint pain, poor circulation, and even memory troubles. If you're on blood thinners, a common medication for those over 65, there's another concern. Peanuts contain vitamin K, which can interfere with blood-thinning medications. This can increase the risk of clotting or bleeding unexpectedly. Even peanut butter isn't a safe bet. Most store-bought versions contain added sugar, salt, and hydrogenated oils, a mix that can raise blood pressure and put strain on your heart over time. So while peanuts might appear to be a quick and easy protein source, they may actually be reducing your energy, limiting your mobility, and affecting your overall health. Before we go on, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what health concerns you're facing so I can offer advice that fits your situation. Number 3, macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts are known for their rich, creamy taste, but they can quietly contribute to muscle decline and slower recovery as we age. These nuts are very high in fat, but fall short when it comes to protein and fiber. 2 important nutrients for maintaining strong muscles. Without enough of them, your body has a harder time repairing tissue, which can lead to weaker legs, slower recovery from activity, and gradual strength loss. Because they're so calorie dense, they can also cause weight gain, especially if you're less active. And that extra weight only adds more strain to aging joints, making movement harder. Another problem is how most macadamia nuts are prepared. They're often roasted in oils that promote inflammation and coated with salt, both of which can worsen circulation and joint discomfort, especially in older adults. But macadamias aren't the only nut that deserves caution. There's a much smaller one that may look harmless, but can actually affect your medications without you realizing it. That nut is pine nut. Number 4, pine nuts. You've probably noticed pine nuts scattered over upscale salads or blended into a smooth pesto. They're small, refined, and appear harmless. But for older adults, these little seeds may come with hidden risks that are often overlooked. A major concern is how they can interfere with certain medications. Pine nuts can affect the way your body handles blood pressure meds, statins for cholesterol, and drugs used for circulation or heart rhythm. These interactions can lead to sudden spikes in blood pressure, irregular heartbeats, or unexpected issues with clotting, especially in seniors who are already managing several prescriptions. A clinical review published in Frontiers in Nutrition in 2022 pointed to pinolenic acid, a compound in pine nuts, for its ability to interfere with how the liver breaks down some medications. This can quietly disrupt treatment plans without any obvious signs at first. What makes this more concerning is that pine nuts are rarely mentioned on food caution lists. Even many doctors don't consider them a possible risk. But there's more. Pine nuts have also been linked to something called pine mouth, a condition where you get a lingering metallic or bitter taste after eating them. This odd aftertaste can last for days or even weeks, making all food and drink taste strange. For seniors who are already struggling with poor appetite or unintentional weight loss, this can lead to eating less, losing strength, and recovering more slowly from illness or injury. Another issue is that pine nuts are packed with polyunsaturated fats. These fats can oxidize quickly, and once they do, they release harmful compounds that may speed up brain aging, clog arteries, and worsen joint pain. The older the nuts, the more damage they may cause. And don't forget their shape. Pine nuts are small and slippery, which can be a choking hazard, especially for older adults dealing with dry mouth or difficulty swallowing. So while pine nuts might seem like a healthy garnish, they could be silently affecting your medication, appetite, and cognitive health all in just a few bites. Now for the upside, not every nut is harmful. There's one in particular that supports memory, heart health, and muscle strength as you age. I'll share more about it shortly. It's a must-add to any senior's diet. But before that, let's talk about another common nut that's creamy, popular, and surprisingly hard on your bones. Number 5, cashews. Cashews might seem like the perfect snack. They're smooth, satisfying, and often labeled as heart-friendly. But for older adults, this go-to nut could be working against your bone health. One thing many people don't know is that cashews are loaded with oxalates, natural compounds that bind to calcium in your gut, stopping your body from absorbing it properly. Without enough calcium, bones weaken over time. This is a serious issue for seniors. Bone density naturally drops with age, and even a small lack of calcium can raise the risk of fractures, balance problems, and mobility issues, all of which could lead to slower recovery or serious falls. But it's not just about bones. Cashews also contain more carbs than most other nuts. This can cause sudden increases in blood sugar, which is risky for older adults managing prediabetes or diabetes. Over time, those spikes can damage the small blood vessels in your legs and feet, leading to poor circulation, numbness, and slow healing wounds. The problems don't end there. Cashews may also raise your risk of kidney stones. The same oxalates that interfere with calcium absorption can crystallize in your kidneys, especially if you're not drinking enough water, which is something many seniors struggle with. There's also a texture issue to consider. Cashews are dense and creamy, which can make them hard to chew and swallow. For those with dry mouth or reduced chewing strength, that raises the risk of choking, another common concern as we age. So even though cashews feel like a rich and harmless treat, they may be contributing to bone loss, nerve problems, and kidney trouble without you realizing it. If you're trying to eat smarter as you get older, this is one nut that might be best avoided. But the good news still stands. While some nuts can do damage, others can do a lot of good. One in particular helps sharpen your memory, protect your heart, and keep your legs strong as you age. Here are the nuts I recommend every senior should consider adding to their diet. Number 1, chestnut. Chestnuts stand out from most other nuts because they're low in fat and much higher in complex carbohydrates and fiber. This makes them a great source of steady energy, keeps you feeling full longer, and supports good digestion without being too heavy. They're also one of the few nuts that contain vitamin C, along with vitamin E and antioxidants that help fight inflammation and protect muscle health as you age. In one study, chestnuts were associated with better blood sugar control and reduced LDL cholesterol levels. That makes them a solid choice for older adults who want to support heart health and metabolism. You can enjoy them roasted, ground into flour, or chopped into rice or pasta dishes. Just remember to store them in an airtight container in the refrigerator since they spoil faster than other nuts. Personally, I enjoy roasting them and adding them to warm grain bowls. It's both tasty and nourishing. How about you? Let me know in the comments how you prefer eating chestnuts. Number 2, almonds. Almonds are much more than just a satisfying snack. They're one of the healthiest daily habits you can build as a senior. Rich in calcium, magnesium, and healthy fats, almonds support bone strength, muscle maintenance, heart function, and even memory. Let's begin with your bones. As we grow older, especially past our 60s, bone density drops and the risk of conditions like osteoporosis goes up. Almonds help counter that. They contain calcium, which strengthens bones, and magnesium, which plays a key role in moving that calcium into your bones instead of your arteries. But it's not just your bones that benefit. Almonds also help maintain muscle mass thanks to their mix of plant-based protein and monounsaturated fats. That matters because losing muscle can lead to weakness, balance issues, and a higher chance of falls in older adults. In a long-term study featured in the Journal of Nutrition, seniors who included nuts like almonds in their diets showed better physical performance and were less likely to become frail compared to those who didn't. Almonds are also high in fiber, which helps relieve constipation and bloating, both common problems that can affect your energy and how well you move. And the healthy fats in almonds support your heart by lowering LDL cholesterol, which helps blood flow more easily and reduces the chance of strokes. Their brown skin is also packed with antioxidants that help shield your brain from age-related decline, helping with memory and mental clarity over time. So, if you're looking for one nut that benefits your bones, muscles, digestion, heart, and brain all at once, almonds are a smart daily pick. But almonds are just the start. The next nut on the list doesn't only support your physical health, it gives your brain the boost it needs to stay sharp and quick. Number 3, walnuts. Walnuts are interesting. They even resemble tiny brains. And in many ways, that comparison isn't far off. These nuts are among the top foods for supporting brain health in older adults. What makes them special is ALA, or alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that's found in high amounts in walnuts. ALA helps maintain the flexibility and health of brain cells, which can support memory, focus, and coordination as we get older. But walnuts offer more than just structural support. They also help protect the brain. Loaded with polyphenols, they act as a natural defense against brain inflammation and oxidative stress. These antioxidants are especially helpful because they can pass through the blood-brain barrier and protect brain cells from the kind of damage that contributes to memory loss and cognitive issues. One study in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging found that older adults who regularly ate walnuts performed better on memory and thinking tests than those who didn't, pointing to real mental benefits from this simple dietary choice. Walnuts also help beyond brain function. They contain arginine, an amino acid that promotes healthy blood circulation. That means your muscles can get more oxygen, which supports strength, balance, and overall stability. There's even melatonin in walnuts, a natural sleep aid. Better sleep can lead to improved mood, more energy, and clearer thinking. Just a small handful a few times each week can support your brain, body, and sleep all at once. Number 4, Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts might not be as common as almonds or walnuts, but when it comes to hormones and physical strength, they're one of the most effective options available. These nuts are packed with selenium, a mineral your body needs for a properly functioning thyroid. The thyroid regulates metabolism, energy levels, and muscle strength, 3 things that naturally become harder to manage as you age. Just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day is usually enough to meet your selenium needs. Research shows that older adults with normal thyroid function often have better muscle tone, steadier coordination, and stronger immune systems. Brazil nuts also help support testosterone levels in both men and women, which plays a role in maintaining muscle and bone strength as we get older. To get the full benefit, go for raw, unsalted Brazil nuts and limit your intake to 2 or 3 per day. Eating too many can lead to too much selenium, which isn't good over time. They're great on their own, or added to oatmeal or yogurt for a satisfying and nutrient-rich snack. Number 5, pistachios. If you've been warned to cut back on salt as you age, you might assume that all nuts are off limits. But pistachios prove that isn't the case, especially when it comes to supporting mobility, heart health, and clear vision. Unlike many salty snacks that raise blood pressure, pistachios actually help bring it down. They're naturally high in potassium, which helps reduce the effects of sodium and encourages better blood flow. That leads to improved circulation, a healthier heart, and stronger legs for staying active. That's not all. Pistachios are also rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 compounds that help protect your eyes from macular degeneration, a condition that becomes more common with age. Clear eyesight isn't just about vision. It helps prevent falls, supports coordination, and allows for greater independence. On top of that, pistachios provide healthy fats and plant-based protein, which help with steady energy and managing blood sugar without sudden drops. They're also good for keeping your hands and brain active. Opening the shells encourages slower, more mindful eating and supports hand-eye coordination and fine motor skills, both of which matter more as we age. In a study published in Hypertension, people who ate pistachios every day saw a significant drop in systolic blood pressure. That improvement was tied to the nuts' high levels of potassium and antioxidants. So if you want a snack that's colourful, tasty, and supports your brain, heart, strength, and vision, pistachios are a smart choice. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a like and share it with someone who might need it. And don't forget to subscribe for more simple, science-backed tips to stay healthy and strong as you age. See you in the next video.